this group.
I like how there was a scene happening behind you. I thought we were gonna have a
I'm
little.
so sorry.
I thought we were gonna have a
That was
little
my baby
situation
girl.
wherein there's suddenly a baby coming out. But but yeah, we were talking a bit about Claire Castro off the air, knowing that she is the only big, the only big in this team, really. So there's gonna be so much expected of her, especially dealing defensively against the much bigger teams that we're gonna go up against. What do we expect from her?
Precisely, Pao. So you mentioned at one point, she's actually the only legitimate center in the lineup. In the past FIBA Asia Cup in 2019 in India, they had the likes of Danica Jose, Jack Animam, and Unique Chan. Actually, for Claire Castro, it will be her first time to play the FIBA Asia Cup because she was actually playing for FU at that time. So a lot of pressure on her to really stand in the paint and withstand those really tall players against China and Australia specifically. I'm sure that for Coach Pat Aquino, they won't really be expecting much from her offensively, but really more on the defensive end and really manning those rebounds up against those tall giants of China and Australia.
Yeah, I'm just looking at what Claire Castro has done. She's played 3x3 already. She has experience in the UAAP, and now she's going to have her first really big international battle in this Asia Women's Cup. But then you look at this team in general, I think we're forced to play small ball no matter what. And
Exactly.
based on the pace, how excited should Filipino fans be and for this young team that's trying to make an impression in the FIBA stage?
Alam niyo, kausap ko nga si one of the veterans of the team, si Andrea Tongko, and she mentioned to me na grabe, after 1.5 years of not playing basketball, gigil na talaga sila maglaro. And that's really what they'll be bringing in, really that love for the game, and that finally nakalaro na din sila after 1.5 years. So their passion for the game, their passion for the country, that's what they will bring definitely to the FIBA Asia Cup. And it will be an uphill battle for them going up against Olympic teams such as China and Australia, but they have a good chance against Chinese Taipei. And all we really want is for them to remain in the Division 1 to really prove that they can withstand the competition of the different countries in Asia.
And yes, Paolo, Bea, it's really exciting to see the return of not just sports, but women in sports trailblazing in this industry. Another question that I have for you is that kamusta yung gelling nung team sa bubble, given that they're using Coach Pat's NU system? Sabi nga ni Coach Pat, it's gonna be a speedy adjustment given that they're familiar with it. How fast do you think they will gel and really quicken their pace in their training?
Well, as I mentioned earlier, Carl Ann Pingol, Kaya Biab, Kamille and Ella Fajardo have already been under Coach Pat before in the 3x3. So, in terms of getting to know his coaching style, alam na talaga nila yon. In terms of gelling with the 5x5 style of play of the Gilas Pilipinas women's national team, all their ates, sila Andrea Tongpo, Chaka Binbin as the point guards, they have really been helping them so much. And I got to talk to Ella Fajardo. Sila mismo yung pupunta sa kanila during the bubble, on and off the court, if they need any more help to, understand the plays a little bit more. So I think just the fact that they're all together in the bubble would really be helping them gel together as a team, given the limited time.
It's a young and exciting team, and they have a big challenge ahead of them. They are short in height, but never short in heart. Thank you very much, Bea. We're going to hear so much more from you soon, especially as this tournament goes on, and we hope you stay safe, and we're going to see you again very, very, very soon.
Thank you, Pa. Thank you, Ali.
Thank you.
Now, after the break, we'll get to know the next generation players for the 2021 Philippine women's volleyball team. Stay tuned. You're watching the game.
Welcome back to the game. A lot of young guns have graduated from the youth team and have officially joined the pool of the 2021 Philippine women's volleyball team. Tonight we'll talk about Faith Nisperos, Ivy Lacsina, Jen Nierva, Mhicaela Belen, and Kamille with their former coach in the NU Bullpups and the youth national team. No other than Coach Regine Diego. Coach Reg, welcome to the game. Kamusta po kayo?
Hi! Hi, okay naman. Kamusta kayo?
Oh, we're very good. We're very good. And alam mo, looking at this national team that we now have, we have a lot of new players that siguro the common fan are not familiar with, but you are very familiar with. So let's start off first with si Faith Nisperos, Ivy Lacsina, and Jen Nierva. These girls, you had the chance to see them grow from yung high school days nila and moving forward. Let's talk a bit about yung growth and development nila. When you see the three of them, how have they grown up as volleyball players, as people na nadala nila sa UAAP?
Well, ever since I've been with them naman, I saw them mature and I've seen them be better every day. And nasa ngayon talaga, grabe na yung leadership nila. Nakikita ko na sila nagli-lead sa loob ng court, especially Faith. Kasi sa Ateneo, even though she's still a rookie, talagang pinapakita niya na nagli-lead siya as if he's a senior. While Ivy naman, Ivy has been with NU ever since and nag-start kasi siya na medyo nahirapan siya mag-adjust, but now I can see her as a very mature woman and I can see na sobrang lalakas sila sobra dahil sobrang disiplinado, like si Faith, sobrang galing sa school. Actually lahat naman sila. And with Miss Nierva naman, if you can see the YouTube videos of her during timeout, grabe, she can talk. That girl really has a voice. She can talk to the players and they will really listen. So I think sobrang makikita natin yung maturity nila this coming games sa national team.
It's really nice to see the development
Yeah,
of these
absolutely.
players from high school and now into the seniors roster. Coach Reg, let's talk about height. Is this one of the biggest assets for Faith now that she's on the wing position?
For me, I think this is one of the tallest national team ever line up for the Philippines team and the youngest also. So I think it's really going to be a big advantage in the international scene. And hopefully, magamit natin talaga yan to improve more para ma-improve yung standing ng Philippines sa international arena.
You mentioned it. That is one of the younger teams. This is one of the taller teams that we actually did come up with collectively. And I think it's plain to see na pang long-term to. No? It's not just for this one term, it's for the development long-term. So how do you think this experience will help all of the girls here, especially the very young ones, like the ones we've mentioned?
Well, I think the starting young talaga is very important. Kasi napapag-iwanan tayo for the last how many years na sa volleyball. And I think it's a good place to start sa mga bata para in the future, magka-gel talaga sila na maayos and lumaki sila together inside the court. And doon makikita na mag-i-improve talaga yung Philippines. So I can see the good future naman for these kids. And fresh leg sila eh. So I think mas magiging mas malaki yung opportunity nila na change
And Coach Reg,
ng volleyball.
lipat tayo sa libero. How different is Jen's style of play from the past liberos we have seen in the national team? We had Don Macandili, we had Denden Lazaro, Kat Arado. Ano yung pagkakaiba? Ano yung maibubuga ni Jen? Dahil tataas yung bandera ng Pilipinas ngayon at a very young age.
I think Jen's difference from other libero is that she is like a captain inside na rin. As in, she speaks a lot, she leads. Pero syempre, I think Dawn and the other liberos can help her pa when it comes to experience and with skills. But magandang start na Jen can easily talk and speak with the players and they can listen. I mean, iba pa rin yung may charm talaga sa teammates mo, iba yung respeto ko nila. And I think that this girl can really improve the performance of the team this coming year.
You know, you mentioned it already a while ago. There's a special voice. There's a leadership within the court, especially when talking about Jen. How unique is that in a young player that they're not afraid of how old their teammates are and vocal sila even though maybe their skill level's not yet at par. What does that say about a young player kapag nakakita mo yan?
As a coach sa mababang level or dun sa mga nag-start pa lang or grassroots, it's really konti lang kasi yung mga ganong bata. Usually they just follow you, they just do what you tell them to do. But when it comes to kids na nagpa-perform or nagli-lead by themselves without you, pag nakikita mo na ay yung batang to, pinapakinggan ng teammates, it's really a different thing. Parang ano siya, konti lang talaga yung gano'n. Parang konti lang siya, tapos libero pa siya. So, mas maganda yun for me kasi madaming mag-lead sa loob. Hindi lang yung team captain, hindi lang yung seniors, but also the young ones.
Yeah, you know, we also have a couple of more players we want to talk about specifically, Ai, right?
Yes, and let's talk about Mhicaela, Belen, Kamille, Cal. Ito yung mga bata mo, coach. Nakita mo silang lumaki, nasa poder mo sila. You had that mentorship on them. And you know, Belle is one of the most anticipated players in the UAAP seniors. How excited are you to see her play for the flag and country once again?
Well, I'm really happy na lahat sila, I mean, most of them went to the national team and I'm really happy na mapakita nila kung ano yung mga natutunan nila before and ngayon to help them grow. I'm really excited for Mhicaela Belen because she has been very talked about ever since kasi yung batang to is very all around.
Yeah.
She can do she's really good defensively and also offensively. Also, this girl is not that tall, but talented talaga yung batang to. As in, innate sa kanila yung pagiging volleyball player. Well, si Miss Cal naman is a girl with so much potential kasi I think sobrang tagal natin last time nagkaroon ng setter na matangkad and pataas tumalon. Very athletic girl.
Yeah.
I mean, this girl's not yet nakakapag-compete ng sobrang dami the experience inside the court. Pa ganun. As a setter, hindi pa siya ganun ka dami experience but her potential is sobrang dami pang pwedeng mangyari in the future. Lalo pa ngayon sila coach, the Brazilian coach na yung nag-take over and coach Olgie. I think she's going to perform well in the arena and also sana makuha sila ng mga experiences international so that they can improve every day and mature with others.
Let's say the Philippine fans will finally see these girls in action on the international stage. Siguro trial by fire to eh. Once they are finally put into the fire, what can we expect from these 5 girls in particular?
Well, I think these 5 girls, offensively talaga, they really have this really good potential to outwit the opponents. And also, makita natin with these girls, the leadership that kasi they have been to so many games, so many competitions, and they played internationally na rin. So I think these girls are confident na to play outside. Siyempre, for now, we won't expect na champion agad or something, but hopefully, yes. Pero sa ngayon, the next generation players hopefully matures together. I think they gel na eh kasi they've been together for how many years na. Kahit nag-college na yung iba, the friendship and I think the communication is still there. So I think they're going to show everything they got in the sport.
And yes, Coach Reg, what might be the biggest challenge for your players as they join the national seniors team?
Difficulty siguro for now is siyempre ma-intimidate sila with the older players and siyempre they will feel na kasi lumaki sila na sila yung magaling, sila yung nagli-lead, sila usually yung pinapakinggan ng mga bata. This time around, I think, siguro naman difficulty. I think it's a learning process for them na sila naman ngayon yung susunod ulit. Kasi it's been so many years sila yung nagbibisan team nila. I think it's time for them to learn more things other than what they've experienced in high school.
All right.
Yun. And thank you, Coach, kasi talagang excited kami makita for them to play alongside our veterans, for us to see the process of them talagang actualizing their dreams from being high school. Ngayon, seniors roster na sila. Thanks, Coach. When we return, we'll hear from our fearless Malditas as our women's national football team advances closer to the Asian Cup. Stay tuned. You're watching The Game.
Welcome back. You're watching The Game. I'm Paulo de Rosario. The Malditas are on the brink of qualifying for the 2022 AFC Asian Cup after an amazing come-from-behind victory against Nepal. Trailing behind a goal to nil until the dying minutes of the match, the Malditas made a furious comeback, starting with Tanay Anis in the 89th minute, and capped off with the game-winning goal by substitute Kamille Wilson in the 92nd. The game caught up with Wilson as the 25-year-old midfielder relived the match's final moments, as well as forward Chandler McDaniel, who assisted on both game-winning goals.
Before going in, Coach told me a new game plan. Just because we were down 1-0, we changed the formation a bit to really press high and get more attackers in the goal. Play the way I play, keep the ball, keep possession, be confident. And during practices, we practice a lot on crossing and finishing. So being able to get in the box and being there for the crosses. It was definitely an amazing feeling. Immediately when I got back to the hotel, I got a text from my parents saying how proud they were of me. My mom telling me how proud and how well I played. It's definitely amazing to feel this way for my family, as well as my family back in the Philippines. Just being able to represent them and who they were, Filipinos, as well as just representing the country, truly an unreal experience.
Scoring that goal was very uplifting because, I mean, it was 90 minutes in. We were chasing the whole game. So it was definitely very frustrating, but very relieving to get the goal. And then we just kept pressing, and Cam sent in the cross, and I tried to score it, but, it's okay because I ended up flicking it to Kamille, who was wide open. Luckily, all of the defenders seemed to go towards me. So, I don't know. I think that it was just all so surreal. I think that it was really cool to have all those people look at me to try to score. And I'm glad that I was able to help the team out. And I'm glad that my other teammates were there to finish it. I think that going into the next game with the win under our belt will help us all to settle down and just to not be so frantic next game.
The Philippine Malditas will face Hong Kong this Friday, September 24, with the goal of clinching their spot for the 2022 AFC Asian Cup.
Samantala, mag-aapoy ang aksyon sa One Revolution. Panoorin ang matitinding bakbakan sa September 24, Biyernes, 6:30 p.m. sa One Sports.
of action, 10 years of history, 10 years of one championship. It's 3 world title fights in one massive night on the 24th of September. Christian Lee attempts to clear out the lightweight division. Thai juggernaut Kapitan goes for another crushing knockout, and Joshua Pasio defends the Philippines' last remaining world title. An epic night with 3 title fights on the line. One championship revolution. September 24, 6:30 p.m. on One Sports.
Thank you for joining us on another episode celebrating women's sports. I'm Ai Tinsay.
Catch us weeknights here on One News, One Sports, and One Sports Plus. I'm Paolo De Rosario, and this has been The Game.